Yes. Welcome everybody to the bi-weekly meeting of the Backdrop CMS design meeting. Today is Thursday, February 9th. And as we usually do, we will introduce ourselves and then get on with the meeting. My name is Luke McCormick, often Cell Ear on various places on the internet. I'm a web project manager in San Ramon, California, and I'm mostly just looking into these things. So Martin seems to be away, so I'll throw it over to Tim. You're muted, Tim.
I'm aware, frantically trying to unmute. My name is Tim Erickson. I am here in Deerwood, Minnesota today, where it's sunnier and warmer than it's been. We're above freezing. And the turkeys just went by. So that's my wildlife report. Yeah, just been really busy lately. Not been doing a lot of backdrop stuff in the issue queue, but happy to check in with you three guys today. It seems like we're going to have a small meeting today. Martin, do you want to introduce yourself quick?
Yeah, I'm Martin in the United Kingdom. Work a bit on Contrib and a little bit on Core, but not been doing too much lately. That's all.
Okay. Sorry. I'll ignore this. So, did my link? Just checking.
I got it.
Yep.
I see the
Yep.
design and usability agenda.
Yeah, and the YouTube link wasn't working in Zulip. The image isn't loading anyways, so I'm not going to worry about that. I just checked the link works. So again, Nate and Jen in particular aren't able to join us for the meetings today. And as far we don't know if anybody else is coming, so we have a small group. This is normally our design and usability meeting, and I don't know that we have any specific design or usability issues to talk about, but we do have a topic because Luke has been working on the blog post for the last release. And I think Luke, you were just looking for feedback, or what? How can we help you today?
Well, yeah. So this is bringing outreach issues into the design issue, but that's fine. I just compiled rather formulaically the issues that were included in the release, but I don't necessarily understand them. I sort of do, but I might not.
I think
get
there's a few that don't really lend themselves to a blog post, and that they're very, very technical, and only the most chronicist of backdrop developers understand what it is and get excited about it. Like there was one which I did some early testing for, and it was like, but this doesn't make any sense. I can give you the test results that you need, but how this acts in the front end doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I'm not sure that everything in that list would actually make sense to be in the given any.
Well, let's dive in and take a look. We can at least give Luke that feedback. So the first thing I'm going to do is just really quickly say that Luke did, I hope I'm not going to lead us astray here. We have a weekly meetings topic where you can post suggestions or anything you want to talk about in our weekly meeting. Please come here and post it in the topic. And here Luke posted sort of a quick summary of what he's working on, I think. And if I click on this GitHub link, that's the tag. So
Yeah.
this is not a draft, but these are the things that you're thinking about writing about, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it actually has a rough thing in that I threw them into categories, completely incompetently. So
Well-
if you can help me maybe recategorize them, and
Mm.
Martin, if you can tell me what I should just leave off or just mention as an addendum, I'm happy to deprioritize things.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I
one-
think the last one, the file access one, I couldn't even begin to explain what it does. It's very much a kind of back end thing that most people aren't going to notice.
Okay, I'll put that in last as a, oh, by the way.
Jen has been trying to sometimes write short summaries for the blog post, and it looks like either she didn't try or forgot about this one.
Yeah.
So if I were writing the blog post, which I have in the past, I would just not put anything for this. I would just list it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
if somebody is smart enough and inclined to learn more about it, they can go back to the issue and read. We did talk, we did walk through a lot of these in the that community meeting we did a few weeks ago. So that's one possible resource. I thought you were there, Luke.
No, it was. I forgot about that though. So I'll absolutely go back to I'll rewatch that.
But let's just go through them quick and see if Martin and I can add anything context to either of them. And probably the ones I can are maybe the easy ones that you already know. This views handler. I can't help you with that.
Well, from what it looks to be, I had a look at the issue, and what it looks to be is in the modules table, which is called the system table, there's some information which is in columns, but there's some information that's in a serialized array, just in a blob in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And what this does is it allows people to get it out. I think the main practical use for this might be in terms of helping with diagnosing issues. So if someone said, my site's not working, I'm getting this error, it gives us the scope to maybe be able to sort of build up a boilerplate view that we can say, just install this view on your site and give us the output. And we'll be able to see all the modules and things, importantly, things like what version they're using. So it gives some of the details that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to get on your module in a view.
All right, wait. So does this add more capabilities to views? It adds another source for views, like
well, basically now that so I actually use this already. First, there is a little summary here that you can look at.
I've copied each of those summaries already into it. I'm looking to expand on that.
But I think it's actually possible in Backdrop to create a view of all of the modules that you have installed on your site. And I think what this is doing is exposing some of the detailed data about each of those modules to views, so that as Martin was just saying, you can create a view of all the modules, projects, layouts, or themes layouts, and things like whether it's a theme or a module, whether it's what the status is. So I think that's basically what it's doing. There's some talk about possibly adding some kind of report in core that you could use to view all your system. So you could also see which I think this might show you what modules need updates. I mean, that we already have something like that, but.
Well, that's actually what certainly being able to make views from information about the modules that are installed is useful. Now, did that not exist at all, or was there like a limited version of that available before? And this is enhancement.
This is a limited version.
Right. There we go.
And this has more available fields then.
Yeah, I think so. That's my understanding, but I'm not sure. Maybe with that information, you could read through this and get more information.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was
Well, yeah,
actually, I created a PR to add kind of a report about we have a view in Backdrop CMS that lets you see which projects need updates, but it's not easy, or the status of each module, but it's not something you can cut and paste easily. And we were looking to create kind of a report that you could cut and paste easily, and you can use views now to create a list of all your modules and what their status is, and then cut and paste it. And we're again thinking about putting something like this into core, and we could use this to do that. But okay.
Is there any reason a site builder couldn't use this on their own?
No, absolutely. I just whipped up a report quite easily that does that. I don't know if I don't think we demoed that in our community meeting, so you can't see it there. If I had a site ready to go, well, we could maybe we'll come back and do that real quick. Is look at the view, but let's move on first.
Yeah.
Add the back to site button. I'm assuming. Hopefully, did you have any questions about that, or is that self-explanatory enough? Tell you what, I'm going to whip up a demo site, and I always like to do this live because I don't think everybody remembers that you can do this. We can go to demo, and we can just hit create sandbox, and then about 30 seconds, I'm going to have a working version of Backdrop. Well, are these still not updated, Martin?
They were updated, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so they are now. For a while, these weren't using the most recent version of Backdrop, but I think they are now. We'll find out in a second. Yeah, we'll find out in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at both of those. In the meantime, we could add an instant search filter. Well, let's just go ahead and look. Two of these are pretty easy to see.
Yeah.
And so we might as well look at them together. Actually, this one is too. I know we looked at most of these. I don't know if we did the views handler thing.
Yeah.
Enhancement.
In terms of my categorizations, I think descriptions for users roles is also a site building experience thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So
the last three in these last two sections, I can't say much about. I know we did talk about in that community meeting. Some people smarter than me described what a little bit the implications of this one. So you could go back there, and probably the same here that we talked. Jen or somebody gave us a quick synopsis of at least what those two were about. I don't know about that one. So let's go to our Backdrop site. And we're logged in right away. So I think the most let's just do the back to site one first, right? Which is pretty straightforward. If we're on the about page, and then we go and we start navigating the admin menu, Backdrop is going to remember where we were. And if at any point we just, we're done in the admin and we want to go back to the page we were on, we can now just click back to site, and it takes us back to the about page. Okay,
where we left it.
To where we left it. Yep. So that's I think that feature. Nothing too much more there. The next easy one, of course, to look at would be the permissions one, or the roles. And excuse me, I'm spacing. Roles are here under configuration. Is it user
accounts?
Yeah, there it is. Excuse me. Basically, these descriptions got added, right, Martin?
Yeah.
They were not here before. So now there is a description of the default roles. And more importantly, if we create a new role, we'll be able to add a default description of that new role. Or not a default. We'll be able to add a custom description of our new role that will show up on this page. Yep.
I think this is so useful. I can't tell you the number of times I've joined a project that had a site where they had 20 roles defined, and the name, the names, the 1-word, 2-word name of the role just doesn't tell you what it is, right? L3 editor or something, right? So
yeah. Well, of course, yeah, if hopefully site builders and site architects, be sure to fill that information in as they're building them. I think the next one that is really cool is also, it's the permissions one, right? The filter. Isn't it a filter on the permissions page?
I think so.
So if we go to permissions, this block was not there before, right? So we can do, we can sort of dynamically filter all of the permissions that have to do with the word page or user. Right.
Yeah,
This filter wasn't there and now it is. And the permissions page, for those who haven't experienced this, can get super unwieldy. Just tons of, because every module you add adds more permissions, and an established project sometimes literally has hundreds of options here. And when you're trying to find something, it's can be quite the challenge. And this, well, the word admin obviously shows up a lot, so that one wasn't too happy. Let's do blocks. There we go, blocks. The word block, right? Super nice. So the view one, I don't know how far to go through this, but if we go to add a view, let's list of modules. We can go to project. I think that's it. Show, instead of showing content, show project. Unsorted, we'll create a page. We'll just call it modules. Let's do a table. I think that's the easiest for a quick demo. And we'll put 0 there, so it just shows us all the modules. We'll hit OK, and we can come down here and really quickly auto preview it. Okay, and so it's showing us.
Yeah, so the new one, if you go to add fields, it's under project. So if you go to project properties and add that one, then what you now get in this property, you get all the different, some of these are optional, some of these are will appear in most of them, but you can basically you have to, if you want to add more than one of these, you have to add this field multiple times.
Right. I'm assuming for each property you create a separate field.
Yeah. But you can basically get that information out. I think version's going to be a key one there.
Yeah, let's do that. But how do we get, like, this is not a useful, we just want the name of the module, right?
Yeah, so there is a project name field already there. So it's a system project name.
Great. There we go. So these are all the modules. I believe there's also a way to tell if it's core or contrib. Is that one of the properties? Project. Nope, that would be probably here. Type.
Nope. No, that's whether it's a
theme
or a module.
I think you would have to do it from the file name.
File name, like parsing that.
Oh, I know I did figure out a way to do that, so it's possible. We don't need to go all the way through. But anyways, I think this is good enough. So it seems like this project properties is the main one.
Yeah.
A screenshot of this one, might be helpful.
Oh yeah. No, I think that's great.
No. Okay. Was there anything else we wanted to preview? We did user description, search filter, back to site. Yeah, those. I think that those are the main ones. There's not a lot of flashy forward facing issues. A couple of nice, small issues like these. I love all of these. I think they're all improving the user experience. And, but none of them are real big and dramatic. So nothing like adding the reference module to core.
Or like a CMS isn't supposed to be like, boring is good, right? Like well, so incrementally improving things that were already pretty nice. That's not bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, good. No, that gives me what I need. That really helps me because Because I was getting lost in some of like the boring ones, right? And wondering where the exciting things are. I didn't understand like the Views field handler one.
Yeah.
That sounded, as I was reading it, like a very like backgroundy thing, but that's actually an exciting new feature of the user interface. Like imagine this scenario, like you're thinking for the default distribution, but imagine you're at a site that's been running for years and years, and you've like written a lot of custom modules, and you've got like a few themes. Imagine like a university that has like a huge collection of these things.
Mhm.
And you could very easily imagine, one of the university administrator doing a lot of these things, doing a lot of like very customized displays that are using like your various modules and information that's in them and coming from them. Seems like good stuff to me.
Great. Okay. Well, since it's just the three of us,
Call it.
we'll just call this, have a short meeting. We don't need to drag this on. So again, if anybody's watching the video and you have ideas for our next user meeting, go to the forum and find that blog post or that forum topic for the next meeting, or if there's not one, create one. And that's how you can get something on the agenda. So, okay, let's go ahead and say goodbye. We'll wrap this meeting up, and we can hang around and chat if anybody wants.
All right.
Okay.